like party that.
Oh shit!
It's on camera. It's on audio.
Yeah.
Fuck with me. Talk your shit if you want to. Talk all that bullshit about.
I don't think I said
you,
anything.
you don't take shit serious because you ain't set it up. It's your people. It's your people. So if this was an EB thing, you would take it more serious. You would take it more serious.
Get in here, EB in the building. Yo, man.
Yo.
You already know what it is.
We gotta welcome Opposing Perspective podcast
in the building.
I'm your host, Adele. And we got my cousin here.
James, aka Ralph's favorite, aka Polo Forever 2027.
Ralph like that nigga ain't my favorite.
And you can find us on YouTube. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, the notification bell.
Yep. Tap that
Ding.
bell. It's free to tap in the little.
You already know this the saucy app.
We got Joe from EB back on the pod again. Another one.
Boy.
You see what's going on behind him. That's no lick on, stick on. That's embroidery.
That's super dope work. Super dope.
Yeah,
Super dope.
If you don't tap into us, like, it's okay. You'll walk around look like IKEA.
We got a dope guest, and I definitely who's a good friend of my cousin. So I want my cousin to introduce.
So before I introduce, I want to ask everyone, how was their day?
Good. Every day above ground is a beautiful day.
Facts.
So Hassan.
I feel like I had this question. I feel like I had this question to ask like 4 times today already.
Whoa. This is only the first episode of the day. All right. Haas, how was your day?
Today was today, and I'm gonna say that.
Today was today. Sadell, how was your day?
It's been good for the 4th time.
So far, so good. All right. So, welcome back.
Yeah.
I want to introduce a very special guest. We have my man, Hassan Grimes in the building.
Let's go.
Thank you for having me.
Actor, producer, writer, philanthropist. All right. There it is.
Hello.
All right. Now, we're going to get right into it. Mr. Grimes, please tell us who you are. Who is Hassan Grimes?
First and foremost, I want to thank y'all for having me on. You know, this is definitely a great environment, a great atmosphere to have y'all podcast at too. So,
appreciate you.
You know,
Shout
definitely
out
make sure.
brothers
Absolutely.
all the time.
Environment is dope. The merch is dope. So I think they took all the Chinese people work. Yo, Chinatown was done now. What y'all sitting? Listen. But as my bro said, I'm a writer, and now I'm an actor. One more movie that I have coming up, then I'll be considered a SAG actor.
Okay.
You know, I'm a SAG writer already, and I'm about to be a SAG actor. I'm an entrepreneur. Owner of a nonprofit organization, Lowell Buddies, which is for the youth, dedicated to the youth in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because as you guys see, it's a bunch of craziness going on in the city right now.
Right.
And, you know, my goal is to help to give back that way. Be the old head that the kids need, that can come to get advice from, to be a role model. Right. You know, because we have a lot, these kids look up to rappers and athletes, and they're not seeking to be role models because the environments that they're in, they're not from those environments.
Right.
They either drafted there or they moved there.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm from Philadelphia. I could have been moved to Atlanta, been moved to LA, but I chose to stay there because I love Philadelphia.
What part of the city you from?
I'm from Southwest Philadelphia, born and raised.
SWP.
57th and Warrenton to be exact. You know, absolutely. Great place.
In the building.
Absolutely.
To touch base on that, I feel like you only go as far as life as you're exposed to.
Absolutely.
So like,
Absolutely.
them kids, they not exposed to that, so they only know what they know.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that's the great thing. You said a good point too. It was like being from Southwest Philadelphia, but because I could play basketball, I was able to travel.
Okay.
So as a kid, I was going to Florida. I was going to LA.
Yeah.
I went to New York.
Right.
Played the Rucker as a kid. As a 13-year-old kid, my family's from Harlem.
Okay.
But I got a chance to play the Rucker at 13 years old.
Dope.
You know, just
Wow.
because of the gift of being able to play basketball.
Mhm.
So if I didn't have that experience, I think I wouldn't be as wise as I was, geographical wise,
Yeah.
you know, and understand the different cultures.
So
Yeah.
Hassan,
Yes.
Smart.
real fast, because you touched on your basketball career
Mhm.
as a teen.
Mhm.
Can you talk about that? Like, how far did that take you?
Well, I mean, I'm in my 40s now, so that was a long time ago.
Mhm.
That aspect. So I just live vicariously through my kids.
Okay.
But I had the opportunity. I got recruited by a lot of good schools, and I wound up going to Villanova University. Tore my
Shout out
ACL.
Villanova.
Absolutely.
Nation.
Coach Steve Lapis at the time, but Jay Wright. I think if I would have played for Jay Wright, I would have went to the league. I'd have been, yeah, man. I think I'd have been AI before AI.
Okay.
Who knows? You know what I mean?
Wow.
But because
Wow.
he that type of coach,
Right.
you know,
right,
and
right.
it was a great thing. And Villanova's a great school, as it is too. You know, but like I said, that I wish I would have did a lot of things different there. You
Right,
know,
right.
but I got
Hindsight
opportunities.
2020.
Absolutely. So with those things, I live through my children and guide them. My son is a Division I athlete now at Georgetown
Yeah,
University.
listen. We're
Yes.
gonna get into your young.
Oh,
boy,
okay. I
all
was saying
right?
that's my
But
baby.
before we do that,
Yes, sir.
I want to dive into you being a creative,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Have you always been a creative?
The craziest, I'm gonna tell you a little story too, right? And this is probably gonna make y'all laugh a little bit. But when I was younger, I probably was about 9 or 10 years old. My dad used to give me money around my mom's birthday and Mother's Day to buy cards, buy flowers, and things of that nature, right? So what I would do, me and being a hustler, right? I would go write a love letter to my mom,
Right.
right? Just sit down and write a love letter, right? So then I'll give it to her just to keep the money in my pocket, right? So then she'll be like, why you just didn't give me the card? Why you just wrote it? Why you write the card out? I'm like, man, I
Right.
wrote that. Right. And so she was like, wow, one day you're going to be something with this. So I used to use it with the ladies. Instead of, will you be my girlfriend? Yes or no? I'd be like, no,
Right.
your barrettes match your shoes. So if I be your boo, you know, we can make it do what it do. Like I was doing
right.
as a little kid. Like a
Yeah.
little kid. I used to, charm the teacher. You know, with my little writing skills. You know what I mean? Charms the teacher. I wasn't going really for the girls my age. I was going for the teacher. Big apple, fresh apple. My mom bought this. Oh yeah, this going Miss Rose tomorrow morning. I want Miss Rose. You know what I mean? I wanted her. You know what I mean?
Now, at what point did you realize that those talents could translate into writing, producing, acting, so on and so forth?
Well, shout out to Tressa Azarel, who is the head of Beat. Like she is the super dope.
Shout out Tressa Azarel.
Y'all look her up too. She's part of BET. She putting out movies every other month. Like
Wow,
literally, she
okay.
go from writing books. She was a school teacher to becoming one of the best women in Black Hollywood. You know, Tressa Azarel, she is super dope. And I met her in Starbucks.
Really?
Met her in Starbucks. I would write every day.
In the city?
And no, this was when I was living in Maryland.
Okay.
I was in Maryland. She lives in Maryland, the DMV area. And I would write every day. I would go there and write. And, one day she looked over my shoulder and I'm looking at her. She's a beautiful woman. Okay. All right. But I see she got a ring on. So I'm going to just continue to write. Then one day she's like, I'm going to bring you home with me. I'm like, okay. Oh, you got a ring, don't you? That type of stuff. But it was just basically because her family was her unit.
Okay.
Her sister works with her. Her husband works with her. And it was like, your writing is dope.
Wow.
Your writing is dope. And it was just that opportunity to put me in a room. And then also, I knew a lot of people from Philadelphia.
Right.
Philly is rich with talent.
I agree.
Whether it's from music,
Yep.
whether it's from athletes,
Art.
Writing, art.
Philly is
forget
dope.
about it. Yep.
Philly doesn't get a lot of credit. And that's the reason why I wanted to stay, because to possibly not do what Kevin Hart did. Shout out to Kevin Hart. That's my
Shout
guy.
out Kevin Hart.
He went to LA, did his thing. Will Smith did the same thing. I wanted to be that guy who can make it here and then give other people opportunities, because if I provide an opportunity and create a program where the kids who are the content, right?
Mhm.
They are the content. Everybody got a book in them. Everybody got a movie in them.
Yep.
Because we live this thing called life.
Yep.
And at the end of the day,
it's Philadelphia.
Listen, and if I'm the one to give you that opportunity, I want to be that one to give you opportunity because somebody blessed me. So that's the reason why I stayed. Because just to be able to give that person, that kid, that young man, young woman, the opportunity to do well.
So Hassan, when did you realize that your voice and what you were writing or coming up with was worth enough to be put on like a big stage?
Well, what happened was I pitched a play to BET called Because of Love that I wrote.
What year was this?
This was 2016.
Okay.
Plays were dope at the time on BET. They used to play plays on BET. And one executive was like, no, this is a movie. I'm like, no, but I wrote it a play. I'm going to have Jill Scott. I'm going to have a whole Philly, Jasmine Sullivan. I'm going to have Vivian Green. I'm going to have these singers on a play because, plays are a lot music driven.
Yep.
So if I had the dopest singers out of Philadelphia singing, I'm like, that'll push it.
Right.
Patti LaBelle, those type of people. So it was like, no, but I need you to go back and add more to this because this is a movie. So when I wrote it, and it was based off of this, God gave me a gift, I realized, just sitting down, I dealt with some singers. So, we would sit down and have conversations and I would listen and then I would write. And they'd be like, wow, this is super dope. This is what's going on.
Well,
this is a song.
So you're writing music?
Yes, I started. That's the way I started.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just to get closer to the ladies too.
Yo,
get in the studio with them.
So do you write for like a ghostwriter?
I've done that. I've done that. Okay. I've definitely done that.
Wow.
But that's the whole thing. You got to sign an NDA too. If back then I didn't understand.
Right.
See, Philly was different back then because we had the whole backpack crew. Music Soul Child, Vivian Green, Bilal, Kendrick, the Family Soul. Yeah. I'm sorry leaving Glenn Lewis. We had a lot of that backpack because we had this place called Five Spot. You remember that?
Five Spot.
Five Spot. You can go in there and listen. What we did outside, we can do that in that joint. You be in that joint. Even if you don't do, you like.
Listen, no
groovy.
BS. I performed poetry at the Five Spot. My man was in the building. He was on drums, and I actually performed. You know what I'm saying?
That's
prior to it burning.
You know what I think would be dope?
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you like giving back to the youth and the younger kids who just don't have a sense of direction and trying to find their way.
Mm-hmm.
And you love to write. It'd be dope if you wrote like a good Black kids book.
I already. Thank you. That's coming out.
Listen, you getting
that's coming out.
Yeah,
this coming. Oh, you already.
Listen, makes sense. Like
it's coming. Little buddies, right? Growing up,
little buddies.
Mm-hmm. Growing up, I was a fan of Lord Rascals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was I was a parent at a young age. So at high school, mom was telling me to wrap it up.
Cheeks early.
Listen, that was my thing. That was my thing.
Shooting at the club early.
Listen. I used to like to get dressed and look good for the ladies and myself.
Hey, listen, come on.
Listen. So what happened was I was part of this program because I was going to first go to Villanova for nursing or to University of Penn. My mom was working at University of Penn at the time, and you can go there for free, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that. But I went and did a program at the Children's Seashore House. And most people that have kids know what the Children's Seashore House, that's with CHOP,
okay.
Right? So what happens is they will fly kids in from different countries, right? And they'll have diseases that cannot be cured or taken care of in their country. So what happened was you'll see a kid from Sudan, could be from wherever, right? So the nurses and the doctors become their friends because their parents can't afford to come here.
Right.
But they're here to get medical treatment. So what happens is I'm like, dang, like I seen a kid who had cancer one day, and I graduated high school at 17, but I was like 16 at the time. And I'm like, I couldn't understand. Her mom was like, just let her die, telling the doctors that. But I didn't understand, my adolescent mind wasn't mature enough she don't want her daughter suffering anymore, right? She was on morphine drip. So it was like her daughter every day waking up just to cry, just to go back to sleep, to wake up to cry, right? And I'm like, man, if I can create a program, right? My grandma would read to me at night, but it was always the same thing, the Dr. Seuss books. I'm like, I want my books to be on the shelves of Black kids. Right, where my stuff is being read to the kids at the hospital. So I'm gonna create this book, create these characters, and I'm gonna partner with this hospital to create a reading program, right? My characters are going to come around and become family members, right? Become part of their culture, learn who they are, right? Because it also gives us content,
Right.
because we get to learn about whoever this child is as well, right? And that was always my goal at that time. That's when I realized at that time I had a purpose. I kept putting it to the side for my own selfish ways. You know, I like money. You know, I love money.
As we all do.
I love money.
As we all do.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me ask you a question. What's the most challenging part about the process of creating, writing, acting, and then also really balancing your time? Which one do you put more time into?
Because as a writer, it's like 24/7.
But the good thing about having a gift, I don't want to start to preach on this.
Talk about it. Listen, talk about it.
The good thing about having a gift, right? Whereas, like, I would have a situation, and I was talking to my bro earlier about, and he gave me great advice too. It's so crazy how much wisdom he gave me. And he is younger than me, and you know, I'm going through something.
Gems.
Gave me something, right?
So
the creative part was always so natural, right? Where it just came to me.
Right.
So, but it had to be content though.
Right.
But where we live in a world now, reality sells. Reality does well. So I can sit in a situation, sit in a circumstance where I was part of an emotional roller coaster. You know what I mean? I was a part of these type of things where, you know, a girl writing a letter to me, and I'm like,
shout out Vivian Green.
Why you gonna say that? Right? Right? Absolutely. But just that simple, right? So it was easy to just put it together because writing is therapy. It's therapeutic.
Facts.
It's therapeutic. So each and every day, journal, writing about my day, writing about what I've seen. You know, I'm trying to get the rights to something now to one of my family members who were in the 80s and 90s, were a big drug dealer. So I'm trying to get this. You think BMF was something, but wait till you hear about the stories of Philadelphia.
Listen,
when it comes to that.
Listen.
Some initials. That's all
I know about Philly and the drug game.
Yes.
Black Mafia family.
That's
what happened with the Black Mafia
JBM.
family?
Well, JBM.
JBM was
Listen,
that was it.
Who told
I'm from Uptown, so HRM,
and they
Mark Casey,
and they took
all
over
that.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's mansion.
Listen,
well, that was the Hanani.
Held them people on houses and put that joint on fire.
Listen,
back in the 80s.
Listen.
Allegedly.
Read the book. What is it? Black Ink or
the Black Mafia family?
Black Mafia Inc. That I think that's the name of the book. But read that. But Joe, go ahead. What you got?
No, I was just curious about that. You know what I mean? I heard something about it.
Yeah, well, it's always a lot of theories behind anything, especially with that. Because even with the one thing about black crime, when it comes to like other people crimes, their crime was considered organizational.
Right.
Italians, that was organized crime. Ours was like, you know, you going away and you going away forever.
Right.
You know, so that type of thing.
Right.
So, you know, I like the whole thing, the BMF thing. But that ain't got nothing on.
I ain't watched the new episode neither.
Yeah, you know, and then it's dope. It's super dope. You know, the story is dope. But it's just like if people got a hold of this story, that Philadelphia story, oh man,
forget man,
because
it, bro.
You know why? Because it ties into the Joey Molinos,
the
Nikki Scarfo. Listen,
Philadelphia story crazy.
I love Skinny. I just listen. I can show y'all a message. Shout out to Skinny. You gotta let me do that, John. Skinny. You gotta let me do that, John. You gotta let me do that, John. He know what I'm talking about.
Podcast too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can get you in touch with the Skinny.
No, I talk to Skinny all the time. We message every day, and I told him, listen, let me write that. But that'd be so dope if a black boy wrote an Italian man story.
Listen. What you got right here?
So like, what is the most challenging aspects of processing of writing and acting? Like, what and producing? What is like?
Honestly, and this is what I, you know,
balance
because it affected, you know, my marriage or whatever. Because I'm going through a divorce, unfortunately. But just being able to have that clear head, right? And people don't understand this, and I understand this now. I'm just coming off a set. I'm on a set right now filming something, so you guys will be seeing that soon on Apple TV.
Can you talk about that?
No, not really. You'll see if you follow me on social media, Hassan Grimes the Pin, you'll see it. But filming something, it's going to be on Apple TV shortly. But I see why people deal with people on set. You know what I mean? Because it's like we're working all the time.
Right.
You know, I was on set the other day from 4:30 to like 8 at night. right? So the familiarity of being around people, and then when you're not filming, you're just sitting around talking, eating, laughing, joking, having a conversation, getting to know somebody.
Building that rapport.
Listen.
I look at it like, you know what I mean? People come into your life. You're a rocket, and every rocket has boosters to get into space.
Absolutely.
So them people are boosters.
Absolutely.
And then they disconnect, but you go into a place, but they're there. They're not bad people, but they're always there.
Always there. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not going where you going.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can you talk about some of your memorable experiences in this space? Did some more name dropping?
Go ahead and flex.
No, I can't.
Listen, go ahead and flex.
I'm part of litigation right now. I don't want this information used. I knew he was messing with. But no, I've really honestly had a chance to be around some great dope people, right? And the industry of film is, majority of the time, is not what you know, is who you know. And you know, which the part of the reason I'm gonna share this, the part of the reason why I'm going through what I'm going through is the woman I was married to wanted me to be myself only to her. But at the end of the day, God gave me the gift to be to the world. So why dull my blade? Allow me to be me if I respect and care and love for you.
That's the same thing I'm going through.
Listen.
Because I had to leave because I felt like I was hurting myself because I had
dulling your blade.
But God told me to move and the way I moved because I was living my life in the vision of a woman that she believed my life should be. And that wasn't me.
Listen.
I was trying to close so many doors, and here it is. I had to be out there delivering because I wasn't myself anymore.
Listen, man, I'm gonna share part of my testimony, and I hope this doesn't affect, because this is what I'm saying, right? My wife told me when we went on strike, why don't you go get a job? I'm writing every day. This is my job. Right? So, but the whole thing was fear of me getting up here and then looking down on her, seeing somebody else up there. And I would tell her all the time, I didn't know at that time when that was occurring, how to make her feel like we were here together. You know what I mean? It's hard in the learning process because things are moving in the speed of light. During that time, I was like interviewing. You go on my page, you'll see I was talking to Nico Harmon. We were talking to everybody on the Shy, just communicating, building rapports, right? Because that's what it's about. You know, I want to be able to have access to these stars now, owning my own production company, Hope Productions, where I can just reach out to such and such, be like, listen, I got this role for you. What you think? Oh my God, I want that role. Now I can go to stars. Stars, I got this person locked up.
Hold up. Now, Hans, you just dropped the gem real fast. Talk about Hope Productions.
Hope Productions, I'm going to be coming out with a project that my partner and I, Rachel Norton, we're going to be doing a documentary on Coach Bill Ellerby, legendary coach in Philadelphia, Coach Rasheed Wallace, Aaron McKee, Terrell Stokes, Sean Red Smith, Rondell Turner. He coached some guys.
This is
right?
major, here,
right?
Yo.
So this is going to be the first project coming out in collaboration with Hope Productions. Okay. And then after that, I got something dope that I can't drop yet until I get the green light. Because I had it before.
Listen, what you just dropped was major.
It was a controversial basketball player that was going through some things in the Jewish community. Well, he's from New Jersey. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
He's from New Jersey. Played for Brooklyn. Then went over to Dallas and all that. But,
selfish stuff to say, though.
You know, what's that?
For somebody to say that, that's somebody that don't value what you do for real.
What's that?
Tell you to get a job.
Yeah.
You know what?
Going back to your wife.
It is? It's just like go hard at your own dream. Somebody will hire you to build theirs.
But what it was, and you're correct, because during that time, my wife was able to go pursue her dream at that time. Yeah. And at that time, I'm like, all right, I'm pursuing mine, you pursue yours.
Right.
Like, let's accomplish this. Right. Because we're going to be together,
right?
You know. And we was having a conversation. It's so like women want to be taken care of, and we as men, and I'm looking to, I don't know which camera I'm looking to at this time. We want to take care of y'all. We want to take care of y'all. We want to protect. We want to provide. We want to take care of y'all. But at the end of the day, that's it. But and also, right? It's so much good making money for y'all to spend. But how dope would it be for us to make money and spend together? That part. That part, make money and spend together, right? You know, I got this gift for writing. You talk about I'm a people person. I can talk the panties off of this person. I could do this. Let me get in these rooms because I'm coming out with a deal.
You Mr. Panty Dropper?
Listen.
Cause
AKA Mr. Chocolate Thunder, retired. He retired. He retired. They had a stripper in here early. I was standing back. I ain't do nothing. You know what I mean? No, I ain't gonna drop no
That's
juice.
good because if you take one pencil, it's easy to break, but if you get a bunch of pencils, it's harder to break.
Oh,
so
my
the
God.
strength is in the numbers.
Strength is in the
And a
numbers.
lot of people
Nigga,
don't
I need you in here.
and then the people don't understand that. Like, you know what I mean? What we get so distracted of in life is like time.
Absolutely.
And time is on every wall to remind us of what it's supposed to be. But everybody has a time where though things are going to happen in their life, whereas though it might not happen as fast as you know what I mean? It takes time.
And I'm so happy. See, yeah, he's dope. That's my guy. Listen, right?
That's my guy.
Time allows us to grow, right?
Yeah.
I was a super uneducated man mentally when it came to I needed time, right? I needed to develop as a man, right? When my wife got a hold of me, I never had a drug problem, I never had an alcohol problem, but I had a problem with the flesh.
Yeah. Well, every seed
But time. It was the time that I needed.
Seed that you plant needs time.
Absolutely.
You
To
can't
grow.
plant the seed to eat the fruit the same day.
And you say that and she loved plants. It's so
You know what I mean?
crazy. It's so crazy.
It's for her to water that seed to make that tree stronger.
Hello.
You can't grow nothing without water.
At all.
All right, hold up.
You know what I mean? She has to
At
give
all.
water to your seed.
So let me.
How Cat Williams said, this is gonna break the internet. Say
Yeah.
that. No, because he
Hold up. Let me switch over to your philanthropy.
Yes, sir.
Right? You have an organization, Little Buddies.
Yes.
LILBUDDIES.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Talk about what made you decide to start that, your journey into philanthropy, and what is Little Buddies?
Okay. And like I said earlier, it started from the idea of that experience in Children's Seashore House, along with Chop, seeing these children that were in need of support, friendship, familyship at that time, right? So then it became broader as time went on with the violence that was going on in the city of Philadelphia, right? When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, we had POW. We had, I boxed. I played basketball, right? I had structure. You know, my mom worked, my dad worked, but I had structure. What's happening this day and time is we have broken households where mom is working. Unfortunately, dad is either deceased, or he's incarcerated, or not around. So the streets become their family.
Yep.
So they become packs of non-family having
young boys.
And young girls, because it's the girls too.
Yeah,
it's the girls
you're
too.
right.
You know, because not to bring it up, but a few years, they killed the older gentleman. That was girls too.
I know.
You know, which was sad, right? So I'm seeing this as a man, and I'm like, and I'm a parent as well. That's what makes it. And I thank God, none of my children have ever been arrested. None of my children have ever been any issues. You know, shout out to my two youngest children. They're
actually huge.
At Kansas University and Georgetown University.
I mean, you got kids in college.
Oh my gosh! I got a 30-year-old daughter too. So yeah, but and a grandbaby. But that's where I started it at. Just seeing those type of things and then understanding how good God was. Whereas my children are none of these children.
So talk about what Little Buddies is.
So Little Buddies is organization, nonprofit organization. Specifically for the youth, to help, support, to be a role model. I want to be a role model so I can be a model for these kids. I want them to look forward to someone. I spoke at a graduation. If you go on my page and look, and one of the little young boys, and he was smelling the weed, he was lurking the weed. Little young boy, he had to be about 12 or 13 years old, maybe 60 pounds. He came up to me afterwards and he hugged me. And his friends like, oh, you on old head DIC, like get off his. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, it's cool. But at the end of the day, he needed that, right? So I put him to the side so he could feel comfortable and not talk with his dad was incarcerated. He said, you remind me of my dad. And when I say that broke my heart, you know what I mean? All because I tell my friends all the time, as principals at schools, y'all the suit and ties, right? They want this. I dress cool, I might be fashionable. Then the kids are going to listen to me. Because they're going to think that I'm not in the mix of the suit and ties. I'm educated as them. Well, I understand.
Hassan, I can definitely relate to that because I work in the middle school and I've been working with kids for the last 7, 8 years.
Wow,
now.
I love to come speak.
Yeah. So I'm actually
Mhm.
at RBT,
Okay.
working with behavioral students and also, people with disabilities.
Right.
I've seen kids come from all type of broken homes,
Mm-hmm.
suffer from fetal alcohol syndrome, all that type of stuff.
Right.
And definitely like the one thing I noticed is really not having a male influence, not having someone just to show you how to throw a football. Like I teach kids during recess. I just taught a kid right now how to throw a football. He was 12 years old.
Wow.
Never had nobody to do that for him.
Wow.
And that's like, it's really self-fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching these kids how to play basketball, setting up cones and cone drills.
Right.
They know nothing about it.
But you know what that is?
What?
That helps with discipline.
Yes. No,
right?
It does.
And this generation is lacking discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not in those households. The type of men that we are, we're not in their households. So mom can't do it. You know what I mean? Mom can do it, but it's something about a man's presence.
Mm-hmm.
And no, she never been a boy. Mom never been a boy.
So what are some of your other interests?
Good question.
That's a great question. That's a great question. And that's a great question because lately, I don't even know. That's the sad part. I've been working so hard at chasing my dreams, which is part of the reason why I would stay in my office from, if I'm not filming or doing anything, from 10 to 15 hours a day. So this thing called work, called gifted writing is a thing, and you gotta perfect it. Somebody seen something I wrote, was like, what school did you go to? I'm like, well, this has nothing to do with school I went to because I don't. Right. But at the end of the day, I wrote so much. Anything that we do repetitive and we do the research and learn how to do, we can perfect. Facts. I've been that type of person. I've been the side by. Listen,
you know that.
I'm gonna give you.
Get into gets into you.
I'm gonna give you an example too, and everybody that knows me knows this story is 1,000% true. When I was a teen, right, because I was a parent, right, I was going to school, and somebody gave me the opportunity, right, do mortgages. This is in the 90s, right? The boom of subprime lending, right? So the Santillis, everybody know Upland Mortgage. At the time, it was booming, right? So I did a side by side that was somebody that went to school, finance, and things of that nature. I became a loan officer. Guess how much my first check was for the first of the month? $25,000. $25,000. Right, because subprime at that time. Shout out to Miss Delilah Winder. Delilah's soul food. Like I got her refinance her property on South Street. Right, I'm a young, but the type of man that I am. Right, I went and caught me a little Mercedes. So I post up on the block. I'll go down to all the spots. So all the people that own businesses, I'm asking them questions about that. But you want to refinance? You want to do? They like, man, how you know about that? You're a kid. I can get your refinance. I can get you back. You can do upgrade this. You could do. But I'm learning from the Italians. Shout out to the Santillis. They own up the mortgage. Listen, this is who I got. God allowed me to be around. So now I'm making six figures at this age where I'm like, forget basketball. Right. Realistically, right? You know what I mean? I can stay here, focus on this.
At that point, you like, I got 25,000. Fuck practice.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I'm not talking about practice. Not the game.
Right.
Practice.
You like, I'm not running no 17s, no suicides, none of that shit.
And that's what made it. And at the time, in the 90s, we was driven by money. I had all the Coogee sweaters. I got the nice new Mercedes. You know what I mean? I got the big herringbone chain. Like I'm looking like I'm him. I'm one of them. Like I'm a drug dealer, but I'm doing it the right way.
And what year?
I'm going to the Union League.
What year is this?
This is 19. My son's house is 1999, 2000,
Wow,
2001, 2002. Like I would listen. And when I got my first property, I never forget, right? And this is around the time when the whole you buy a property, you got popcorn selling it up. You know what I mean? I buy a joint for $7,000, right? Get it done all up. Took me about $3,000 or $4,000 to get it done. I sell it for $35,000. This is a 19th and Christian. Guess how much the properties are now at 19th and Christian? $1 million. Wow. I wish I knew that part. I wish I would have educated myself and knew that gentrification was coming. South Philly is a gem.
Wow.
Right? And I wish I would have knew. You go back public records, you'll see my name owning that property. But I wish I knew at the time because my mom was always in real estate. That's why I wrote a script called Monopoly that prayerfully gets greenlit. But it's about my life, and the stuff that I seen, right? And I was a reader. My mom made me read, right? Remember back in the day, we knock on the door and sell encyclopedias. You might not know that, but they used to sell encyclopedias. right? So they'll come around, and then my mom, my grandmother, God rest Francis Grimes' soul, I couldn't say a word without spelling it, and then using it in a sentence. Right? So my vocabulary was a little bit enhanced to the point when I was young, my mom had to take me to a therapist because I didn't interact with kids well my age. My grandma owned a bar. I used to hang around the older kids, right? I used to make money as a kid being Michael Jackson. I had a little curly hair. Listen. Let me tell you how much hardwood floors saved my life and made me make some money as a young boy, right? I never forget. Remember the onesie with the little feet at the joint?
Nigga, I remember.
Listen, right? They get drunk. All right, wait from my cousin said, "What's wrong? What you doing? I'm waiting for showtime." Put my little joint on. You know what I mean? Now I'm out there dancing. Put the little record on, right? So now they throwing ones at me like I'm a stripper, right? Next day I get up. Listen, count out my ones. I'm making this is in the 80s. I'll never forget because a couple of days later the Sixers won the championship. We went down to the parade.
Shit, yeah,
right? It goes that far back. Listen, I used to buy all my cousins bags of chips. We used to have a party. Because everybody got chips and lemon heads and Boston baked beans.
Yo, you was paid them for?
Listen, before pay. So I come home, I got a knot of money. Mama, wait, where you get that from? You took something from the... No. Grandma be like, no, he made that.
Right.
He was dancing. That's why I had the Michael Jackson glove and the red leather jacket. Listen, I thought I was him.
Yeah.
I really thought I was him. But that's like, so when you say where does it stems from back then having that hustle mentality. My mom had me at 15 years old. Got pregnant at 14. Always been a hustle. I seen her hustle. I seen my grandparents hustle. My grandfather fixed cars and detailed cars at 62nd in Osage in West Philly. So I seen, I've been around.
All right, so hold up, Hans.
Yeah.
Your father, right?
Mhm.
You talked about a father. We're going to shift real quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a father
Mhm.
of an athlete,
Mhm.
can you talk about how that is? You know what I mean? And shout out your son.
My youngest son, Isaiah Grimes, Georgetown University, future pro.
Hey.
I'm claiming that.
Let's go.
Right. So it's a dope thing, especially to go to a school like Georgetown.
That's huge.
Right. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I was jealous. I wanted him to go to Villanova, but he said that I got to create my own path. And Georgetown is one of the most greatest universities there could be academically.
Yeah.
Their alumni, the stuff that goes on when we go to games, how I'm greeted, how I'm adored, all because of my son is this great student athlete. Right. He's a student first before he is an athlete. Because if he don't do what he has to do in the classroom, he can't get on field.
And talk about how great of an athlete he is.
Well, he made All-American as a freshman. He's a stud. And wait till you see him next year. But he had the opportunity to play both sports at Georgetown. Pat Ewing got fired, so he stuck to football. And then he played football, and he was like, "Dad, this is it. I don't want to do nothing else."
What position?
He's a wide receiver / tight end because of his size. They use him in the slot because he built like an action figure.
Yeah,
Shout
out Isaiah Grimes.
Shout out to Zay Grimes.
Listen, he's something else, and I'm not saying it because he's my son. God blessed him, and I'm grateful.
He's gifted.
He's definitely is. Genetically, God gave him all the best attributes of his mother and I, and I'm grateful for that. She's an attorney. He's very educated, smart kid. And he has the athleticism of me. She also danced, not stripper, but she did that. Like, she was a ballet dancer.
Yo, stop putting this out there, guys. Yo, that's not what we about.
Hold on. First of all,
yes, sir.
Let me just say,
I don't know what he talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Listen,
it's the Louis. It's the Louis in the Eagles flag. It's the Louis.
To any strippers
or
exotic dancers, all right?
They artists too. They're artists too.
They are artists too.
We only have performers.
That's it.
Facts.
That's it.
Performers in the building, contortionists, that, and so on.
Absolutely.
Contortionist, is you?
Okay. No, I've never been that.
Okay, right.
They call me Chocolate Thunder because I used to, you know what I mean?
Can you shout
the
out
bed rock?
Can you shout out what's next in any last minute shout outs?
Yeah, what's coming up?
Well, now.
Oh, can you talk about? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, can you talk about some of the projects that you're currently working on?
He just said he couldn't talk about it. He couldn't tell.
Yeah, but if you go on my page, you'll see him.
I was trying to get him out.
Because I do.
Maybe he was slipped up.
No, I ain't gonna slip up. Because then I want to be on more sets, so I ain't gonna slip up. But if you go on my page, you'll see. Because I take pictures, take videos. Right. You know what I mean? Hair, makeup.
The beard up.
You know what I mean? I ain't like the bull. I can't get all that. You know, I'm Ethiopian and Indian, so you know we don't get hair on our face.
Some people shave their face, some people shave their head.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen. You know what I mean? Exactly. So all we did was switch. He can't get the hair up here, and I can't get the hair right here.
No, I got the hat. Oh damn, I ain't got the hat on.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
But I have a bunch of projects that I'm working on now. I'm trying to get green lit. I'll be in Atlanta shortly. At Tyler Perry Studios trying to get this project done.
Oh, you can't shout Tyler Perry. I mean, he got a bad rep right now.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest about Tyler. Tyler's
not Diddy. Go ahead. My bad.
But he might be. But we don't know.
Did he do it or didn't he? All right, go ahead.
You know, I'm gonna be there trying to utilize the studio. You know, because right.
Chill, so you ain't gotta be. We're gonna wait until after you go to Tyler Perry to put this
out. Right. I'm just there trying to. Yes, sir.
Is you gonna rock the dress when they come to you?
Listen,
yo,
man.
you out of pocket, yo.
I gotta ask.
I'm gonna blame you a sign for this. For this
It's the Louis. Blame the Louis. All right.
I'm gonna be honest, right? Yeah. You can say thank you. You he said it for me. When I do write roles for myself, I write roles where I don't think I would have anybody wearing a dress.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's nothing funny about
Joe
that.
walking off the
Listen,
yeah,
Joe,
I don't think nothing.
I'm not wearing a dress.
Yeah, I don't think nothing.
J's went left on that one.
Right.
I gotta ask. You know where he say Hollywood and I mean he talking Tyler Perry and. Shout out to Tyler Perry, but you know this.
I don't. I'm gonna finish it out because I do want to say this. One thing for sure, two things for certain. It's nothing funny about wearing a dress for a man that doesn't want to wear a dress. Put it like that. Because I'm not going to go because you have some men that do wear a dress, which is okay for them. But if a man doesn't want to wear a dress and is used as humor, I don't think that's okay.
Word to Dr. Umar.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because at the end of the day, that definitely takes away the masculinity of us.
Y'all not watching Big Mama's House?
I watched it. Martin is a dope artist.
We ain't going there.
Martin Lawrence is dope.
You know, you heard what Cat said. He was like, Big Mama's House 3, we still doing it? Right. I was mad about that. Yo. I was mad with Cat with that Martin. Though. I ain't gonna hold you.
But what Cat Williams did prove is, and also Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Shout out Dave.
Right? They proved that you can be funny without putting on a dress.
For real.
Right? They both had roles where in Blue Street they wanted Dave Chappelle to put a dress on. Right? And he said no because of the fact that that's not funny. I can write something funny, which shows his gift as well as writing, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas I can give you humor. And if you see that scene, I remember that scene where he snuck out. Mm-hmm. You don't have to put a dress on to be funny.
Yeah.
You know, and even Big Mama, you know, that was something, because even with Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor, right? That was humorous. You know, he showed, back then I didn't think about the putting on a dress type of thing. I just thought it as him being talented, right?
And that's what I would like to think of it as, just trying to be talented, trying to do different roles, and just trying to be funny.
But then we think about it, right? Some of the greats, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, didn't put the dress on.
I mean, was
Bill Cosby?
Denzel Washington never played the comedian. Bill Cosby didn't. You're right.
Neither did Sidney Poitier.
Neither did Sidney Poitier. But they didn't play. They didn't play. Well, if you talking about Uptown Saturday Night and Jordan Bill. I mean,
but Flip did.
But Flip did. Right.
Martin did.
Right.
Shanae, Jamie.
Eddie Murphy did.
With the young man. Dustin Hoffman did it.
But then it's just the crazy thing about it is, right? But let me ask you something, right? We have some white actors that put dresses on too, but it's not talked about in their community.
Facts.
Why is it talked about in our community?
Because as far as the African American male is concerned, being strong and being in the forefront is very important.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. As far as like images for other African American children that don't have that strong African American presence in the home. Right. So to change that image to a feminine image, I mean, I don't want to go into that, but like.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek, and I'm gonna give y'all. Yes.
We definitely got to wrap up.
Can I give you exclusive on this? Can I give you a short exclusive real fast?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you a short exclusive. I wrote something, and it's definitely going to be coming out soon. But what I did was I did write something about that. I'm gonna tell you why. Right? I wrote a scene where the young man will watch. He was raised by his mother, his grandmother, and his sister, and his aunt. He was molested by his aunt. Right? So what happened was he only seen his father 2 times in his life. Right? So what happened was he would watch his mom each and every day get dressed in front of the mirror, put her shoes on, put her wig, get situated, right? And then when she would leave, he would do that. He would basically copy off of her, right? So listen, that's why I said it's so crazy. This is my gift, right? When I thought about that whole dress thing, right? So now he only seen his father twice in his life. The first time he seen his father, he didn't know his father was in the room. Pop just got finished hitting mom again because he would sneak over there when he sleep. Pop beat the living daylights out of him, right? So now this individual equates that to any man that comes around mom has the possibility of beating him every time he does that, right? But he was raised by, if Pop was around, he wouldn't have put no dress on. You know, but this is my way of showing. I'm giving y'all insight on something that I wrote. It's in my script, right? But it's already protected in the Writer Guild vault, right? But it's like I'm using that to show that why some of these things sometimes occur. The molestation that goes on in our community, that in our community, right? You know, I was a survivor of that, right? So I took what I suffered with and put it in my work. Right? I didn't do the dress thing, but meaning like in regards to being touched by a female family member, right? So it could, but the sad part about it is this, right? A man could be touched by a woman and then love women, right? But let a woman be touched by a man and then she goes on and becomes promiscuous, right? We have empathy for the woman, right? But for us, it's like, oh, you just make an excuse. I love women because in fact, maybe I was introduced to them at a young age.
Well, listen, we got to wrap. No, we're gonna bring you back. No, we got to wrap up.
I got just an insight on the whole system. Like that system you just explained, that's that's the interface of the bigger system. The bigger system.
Listen, we I'm sorry, but we really got to wrap up. Wrap this joint up. We need some last minute segments. Just on last minute. I'm sorry, some last minute shout outs from Hassan.
Yeah, shout out.
Okay. Follow me on Hassan Grimes the Pen. HASSGRIMESTHEPEN and Lowell Buddies. Lowell Buddies Love at Lowell Buddies Love. LILBUDDIESLOVE on Instagram.
Embroidery Brothers in the building.
Yes, that wraps up Opposing Perspectives.
We appreciate.
I'm looking forward to coming back this next joint because I'm telling you, I got some stuff.
We definitely having Hassan back, but we want to thank Hassan for coming out.
Definitely.
Make sure you
like and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. We're on all social media platforms. I'm your host, Sadell.
I'm your host, James, aka Ralph's favorite in the building.
Thank you.